Hey guys, we'll be back into this new video tutorial with OSP Pro, and this video simply today again we are going to be looking at Python programming. I'm using Python 2.7 but I already have Python 3 also installed, and in this video simply today again I'm going to be showing you how do we use loops in Python. Now Python gives us chance of using two types of loops. I know guys, if maybe you're from any other different programming environment, you'll discover that we have different types of loops. We have the for loops, the while loops, and the do while loops statements. Now in Python we have mainly what I will simply call two types of loops. One is what known as the for loops, and another one is what we may call the do. Actually, we have the one known as the for loops and what known as the while loops. Now Python is a loop is what known as a programming construct that enables repetitive processing of a sequence of a statement. So Python provides two types of loops, just like I've said to you, and in which we are going to be seeing how to handle one by one. Now I just have one example that maybe I'm actually try to use within the program, so that we can actually come up with a simple program. Then later on we shall see how can we continue making up something new. Now let me start up. If you try to cross check, I'm just going to define some few stuffs. Now remember, if you try to remember with other type of program language, you just be using other few curly brackets if it was PHP or Python, OC, but in Python we shall be using one known as list, or what known as arrays, what you guys may think or may call it array. Now in a simple term I will simply give some stuffs like maybe names. I'm just going to use the names, and I have maybe the names here. I'm just going to list people's names down. I also going to be having maybe David. I'm going to be having also maybe Brian. If those are the people's names I have, I'm going to be having maybe Juliet. I'm going to also have maybe Kale, because my good friend. And I'm also going to be having maybe Jordan. Things like that. I'm going to have also Michael. I'm also going to be having maybe sorry, there's a mistake here. I'm also going to be having maybe let's just take that at the moment. So that's so far the list we have at the moment. So if you try to cross check, I would like now Python to enable us do some little work within this program. So I'm going to be using at the moment what known as the for loop statement. Now with the for loop statement, what for loops behaves, it believes you'll be giving up what known as the condition, and then after it's a statement. What I mean is here you have conditions, or you give up the condition, and here down what next is expecting you to give what known as a statement. Here to be having what known as the statement. So remember, that's what I'll simply talk about at the moment. Let me start by giving up the for loop. So if I give us something, I say for, maybe we're going to be picking up the choices of names within the list of the names. For choice, I'll say in names. That's how we give it. Then I'm going to be just using if here. If choice is equal to maybe a name you'll happen to get from there. Maybe if it is maybe Kale, I'll just use Kale for this case, and then you will expect to print out something down like a statement. I may simply say you love that the name that you love maybe that you love the name the name. I'll just close that. The name, which is going to be the choice, in this case the name maybe so much. I'm going to just say so much, something like that. That implies you love the name Kale so much. So that's what we expect there. I may just add here something else, which is going to be just try to print out another step, something down here, just for you to understand. and thank you for picking that choice. Let me just try to give something here so that guys you can understand what I'm trying to mean here and when I say using what known as the loop conditions. So I'm going to just print out something here down also, maybe whereby it's going to be else you don't have choice, or choice, something like that. So that implies, in a simple term, this is it. If someone have a choice, we expect this condition to be executed down, whereby we shall be having the first statement, having rendering the choice, which choice is going to be the name taken, and the name in this case is Kale. So in a simple term, we will be picking up that information, and after picking it will also print out this, and then this is going to be the else condition, which whereby if these conditions are not correct, then we expect the else condition to execute out. Now you're going to learn something new based on what happened to say that it will not be the way I'm talking about it. Let's compile and check whether there's no error. I hope there is no error, which is good. But now it has not done what we said. We are expecting it only to produce for us these two statements. Now the reason is that we don't have the condition which enables us to stop printing out information which is not necessary, to print for us only what's necessary, because we don't have what known as break. So this takes us into something known as break. That implies after it we would like to separate between what known as the else condition and if statements. So when it prints for us this, when it is happened to cross check and this statement is true, otherwise we would like it to print first the choice based on the name and then to stops. And if maybe that's it, we don't want it to execute first this one because we don't need it at the moment. So this is it. So if you happen to click and happen to run, you'll discover that, yes, you just save. If you try to click and try to run, I think you can see it's just telling us you love the name, you love Kale so much. Let me just change that. You love Kale. So let me repeat that again here. Hope you have seen you love Kale so much, and thank you for picking that choice, which is good because you happen to use a break. Now let me also show you how to use what known as continue. Now to deal with the continue statement, I'm going to move off this break. Now instead of having this statement up, I'm going to cut it off and bring it here down so that we happen to get the information just there. Now in between these two is where I'm going to type what known as a continue statement there. Now this is it. We expect the continue to make the statement continue after printing for us this block of codes here that, and thank you for picking that choice. We expect it to tell us the person, so you love Kale so much. So if I happen to click in here and try to run, you'll discover this is what will happen. It's telling us that, and thank you for maybe picking that choice, and you don't have choice. Now why is it they continue telling us you don't have choice? It's because it has happened to bypass on this kind of statement here and has gone straight to the else statement. Let me just try to leave this thing here down so that you guys can see what I'm trying to do. If I compile this statement and happen to run, this is what will happen. It will tell us that, and thank you, and whatever, and thank you for picking up the choice, and you don't have a choice. So it is happened to bypass on this condition, instead is continuing to the next statement, which is this one. We don't have a choice. So members, that's simply how we can use a continue statement on what known as the for loop with what known as in Python. Let me now utilize this time around to show you how to break that little bit of the while loop statement. Let me just break down into what known as the while loop. Let me try to whip up this if possible. Now let me also show you some values, maybe using numbers, so that you guys can differentiate on these stuffs. So give assumption, if I say maybe in this case around, I'm going to just actually use some variable. Give assumption, if I say maybe, let me just say counter for today's case. Counter for counter is maybe equal to 1, or in simple term 0, I may come up with a while loop and say while count, or while our counter is less than 10 or less than equal to 10. So whenever you do that, you have to end up with that. So while our counter is less than 10, we would like the statement to be printed for us 10 times. So otherwise it's going to be 10 times, because we expect the condition to be maybe simply say please subscribe to OSP Pro channel. So if that's what we have there, we expect that pieces of code to run for us the number of times you happen to put in the program. So I have this one here, please subscribe to OSP channel, but have here has a counter. So to call for counter to be here, I'll come outside here, put a comma, and then I'll say counter, like that. So in a simple term, I have to tell the counter down that please counter. You can use counter plus plus like this, which you have to use in C, but let me just use this one here, whereby I should be having counter plus 1 in a simple term. So if I also have that, then when the stuff is done with counting, we would like maybe to print for us something known as maybe let me just say done with counting, if that's it. So we have that, those the pieces of code, just that the while loop. So we have our counter, which is this equal to 0. While counter is less than 10, would like it to tell us please subscribe to OSP channel. Otherwise it's going to print like 9 times, starting from 0 to this 10. That implies it's going to be 10 times. And then if the counter is printing that statement, which is going to be also looping around the program, and when it's done, we expect to execute for us as one was done with counting. So if I happen to compile this program, hope there is no error. I think you can see down here the program is, I'm just try to reduce this a bit so that you guys can see we have those stuffs there. So we have the first person, please subscribe to OSP channel, now done with counting, and then goes to please subscribe to OSP channel, and it's also telling us done with counting. If you try to cross check, that's what we happen to make in our program. So every time around the program happen to be called within the program, you'll discover that it will be telling us done with the counting for each person it has been maybe to pick within the program. That actually this one here is picking for the first person, and then when it is done, is also telling us done with counting, and otherwise until the last person. Let me just do it once more so that you guys can be in the same base. I think you can see it has counted for us in the program, and that's it. So guys, please, if you know this video has really helped you, please don't forget to subscribe to OSP channel. The pieces of codes are that, so please members, you can always go and practice around and try to see you again, maybe you do your best. So guys, please subscribe to OSP channel for more Python programming videos. Thank you.